I'm Mark Johnson, Managing Director of public services law firm TPP Law, and with me today is Owen Wilcox, Director in our social enterprise team. In this webinar, we're going to be introducing the concept of public service mutuals and some of the legal and commercial issues that will be encountered by those looking to set one of these up. Our objective today is to equip the in-house team with a broad understanding of the issues that you're likely to encounter when faced with a request from a staff team to set up a spin-out or a mutual. We need to look at this topic in context, and I think the first thing to bear in mind is the changing nature of demographics in the UK. We're going to see ever more demanding citizens looking to access public services in different ways, particularly using technology. And at the same time, we are seeing a population that is getting older, an increasing demand for services such as healthcare and social care. It's been estimated, for example, that the costs of healthcare will rise by something like £40 billion over the period to 2040. So there is a cost imperative as well in terms of redesigning public services. Institutions like local authorities that are delivering public services will need to find ways to deliver services in different ways. And of course, in these austere times, we need to seek cost reductions. The Comprehensive Spending Review called for cuts of something like 25% in local authority budgets over the period to 2015. And at the same time, the NHS is required to find savings of something like £20 billion over that same period. Now, there are various ways in which this could be achieved. There are various tools in the box, if you like. Outsourcing services is obviously one tool. Seeking to share services with other public bodies would be another. And finally, we have the option to set up spin-outs or mutuals. Barry Quirk is a leading thinker on designing new service models for local government. And in his book, Reimagining Government, he looks at the issue of outsourcing of services. And he says that outsourcing public services is a useful strategy, but of itself, it doesn't solve the problem of large-scale cost reduction. That can only be achieved by some serious service redesign, in which outsourcing may play some part. What we're going to be looking at in this webinar is the extent to which setting up staff spin-outs and mutuals could achieve the objective of redesigning services and what the issues are along the way. The coalition government is pursuing a policy of handing more control over local services to community groups through its big society and localism agendas. And the Cabinet Office has been an active champion of setting up public service mutuals and spin-outs. They have a programme of Pathfinder projects underway, of which there are 21 at present, and we can expect more to emerge as they begin to set up specific advisory units and support teams within the department. In NHS services, a programme of right to request initiatives has been running for some time now, and there are about 60 projects in the pipeline progressing under that particular initiative. July 2011 saw the publication of the Public Services White Paper, which signals a much greater role for mutual social enterprises, charities and the voluntary sector generally in delivering public services. The aim is to create a much more diverse market of service providers and create conditions of competition and open up markets for new providers to come in. And this is given some specific legislative force by proposals in the new Localism Bill, specifically clauses 69 to 72, which propose a new community right to challenge.
As Mark has already mentioned, it's going to be critical to identify and manage key risks in the process, both in advance of the mutual starting to trade and as it's operating. And on this slide, we've identified some of those key areas which we think the in-house team should consider